Time to check in with CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who is also the editor of CoinDesk's The State of Crypto newsletter. Hey there, Nick.
Hey, good morning.
All right, so what are you looking at this morning?
So something caught my eye yesterday. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen went to a Wall Street Journal event and spoke about crypto regulation. She said that the crypto regulatory framework in the U.S. is currently inadequate. And while she did cite some of the familiar complaints about concerns around money laundering and illicit finance, she did also say that in her view, the current framework does need to be updated. It needs to be more clear who's in charge of what, and how crypto assets are to be treated under the law in the U.S.
Do you
Nick,
think
I know you're
that
the expert on Yellen's comments on cryptocurrency. Of those comments, which of them is the most new or the most notable? Is there anything there that's really different from something she said in the past?
I think just the acknowledgement that the regulatory framework in the U.S. is inadequate is that is, I think, the first time she's discussed that. It is a view, many in the crypto industry would agree with. There are concerns about what the SEC can or cannot do and what the limitations are. In particular, when can a company launch a token and raise funds? Right now, the SEC treats most of that as, a security sale, but there's legislative efforts underway to try and clarify, when the CFTC actually has jurisdiction, when a certain cryptocurrency is definitely, more a commodity and less a security than when it is, clearly something that's just being used to raise funds and, act as an investment of sorts in that company.
Nick, she's of course not the biggest fan of crypto, but she would be working on this potentially, or at least giving some guidance, one would assume, with Gary Gensler, who isn't necessarily an enemy of crypto. So do you think that potentially incoming chairman Gensler may sway her a little bit to go softer on regulating crypto, or softer on suggesting regulations on crypto?
Yeah, I think the fact that Gensler is involved cannot be, underestimated. Just the other day, he announced that his new chief economist is a Wharton professor who taught a course on crypto. So his staff already has crypto experience. We know that the SEC staffers have been looking at crypto for quite a while now. I think, even looking beyond just the SEC, a lot of the the new administration's staffers who might be involved in this do have some familiarity with crypto, which is not something we saw 4 years ago. So, at the very least, I don't think we can say necessarily that they're enemies of crypto, but just the fact that they understand this and might have a better idea of what we're talking about is, I think, a pretty positive signal, at least in terms of whether or not we'll see clarity coming along.
Yeah.